New footage just surfaced of Blacc Slam confronting Big U and Snoop Dogg, and it's got the streets talking. For Big U, it's not surprising. Word is he put the hit out on Nipsey.
Big U had Nipsey Hussle killed. Everybody know that.
But the real question is why Snoop's name is suddenly in the mix. According to fans, new evidence suggests he played a role. Let's get into it. The beef soaked in blood. The murder of Nipsey Hussle in 2019 didn't just take away a legend from the game, it exposed some deep-rooted betrayals and fake love that's been brewing in the hood for years. And right now, we got Blacc Sam, Nipsey's blood brother and certified street soldier, side-eyeing one of the most unexpected alliances in West Coast hip-hop, Snoop Dogg's tight relationship with Big U. But before we dive into the current drama, we need to understand exactly who Blacc Sam really is, because this cat ain't just some grieving family member looking for somebody to blame. Samuel Asghedom, known as Blacc Sam, is the older brother of the late rapper Nipsey Hussle, who was murdered in 2019. Blacc Sam has been fiercely protective of his brother's legacy, which has led to several public confrontations with rappers and gang affiliates, particularly when he perceives disrespect toward Nipsey's memory or their shared business ventures, such as the Marathon clothing and the Marathon Continues brand. This is a dude who's built different, who's been putting hands on people and checking disrespect since way before his brother became a household name. One of the recent examples of Blacc Sam's no-nonsense approach to protecting his family's legacy went down on March 1st, 2025, and it perfectly illustrates why cats in these streets know not to play with him. During the grand opening of Marathon Burger in Los Angeles, Blacc Sam engaged in a heated verbal altercation with a rapper and alleged West Bavidi Crip named Rockstar 2800. The incident, captured on video and widely circulated online, showed Blacc Sam confronting Rockstar 2800, standing inches from his face and shouting, "Get it crackin', that ain't what you on. I've been watching. That ain't what you on. Get on that." Now, this wasn't just some random beef over nothing. The dispute reportedly centered on loyalty and Rockstar 2800's failure to address individuals who had disrespected Nipsey Hussle's legacy. Online speculation, particularly from social media platforms like X, suggested that Blacc Sam was indirectly calling out Rockstar 2800 to confront Wack 100, a controversial figure in the hip-hop scene who has made comments about Nipsey in the past. The fact that Blacc Sam was willing to press a cat at his own family's business grand opening in front of cameras and crowds shows you the level of principle this man operates on.
He said a couple things about Nipsey.
Yeah, he said a couple things over the years, and I guess they felt like this dude Rockstar, who I guess they were cool with, didn't like step up and defend Nipsey or whatever. So when he showed up, Blacc Sam told him he has to leave. He basically made him leave.
I seen the footage of him when he was walking him across the street. See, LA is that's like a different world. If you're not from LA, you don't even understand none of the politics of it. You don't understand the way they move. It's like just different out there.
Rockstar 2800 later posted on Instagram, "Damn, all wanted was a burger," attempting to downplay the incident, but he faced backlash in the comments, with users accusing him of associating with Wack 100 despite the latter's alleged disrespect toward Nipsey. But the Rockstar 2800 situation is just the latest chapter in Blacc Sam's ongoing war against anybody who disrespects his brother's name. The beef with Wack 100 goes way deeper and has been simmering for years now. The tension escalated in 2022 when Blacc Sam demanded the removal of an unreleased Nipsey Hussle verse from the game's album Drillmatic Heart vs. Mind. Wack 100, who manages the game, publicly criticized Blacc Sam, calling him selfish with his anger and arguing that the collaboration would have honored Nipsey's legacy while generating royalties for his children. Blacc Sam, however, has been staunchly protective of Nipsey's unreleased music, refusing to allow verses to be used unless they were part of projects Nipsey explicitly approved during his lifetime. But even that has nothing on Blacc Sam's current beef with Big U and Snoop, and if you guessed it had to do with Nipsey Hussle, you get a cookie. See, back in 2011, there was this incident involving Blacc Sam and Eugene Big U Henley, a former manager and alleged Rollin' 60s Crip affiliate. According to reports, Nipsey and Big U got into a heated argument near a Shell gas station at Crenshaw and Slauson in Los Angeles' Hyde Park neighborhood.
First time they first fall out, when they first got Nipsey signed, Nipsey come back, was a fallout. They went down, there was a fight, rumble happened. I believe Big U knocked Nipsey out.
This revelation about Big U allegedly putting hands on Nipsey is crazy disrespectful when you really think about it. We're talking about two dudes who were supposed to be on the same team, both repping the same set, both supposedly working toward the same goals.
Blacc Sam comes out, fires 3-4 shots in the air. He's fresh out the penitentiary. Police sitting right across the street, they see it. They come in, they arrest everybody. Blacc Sam's on parole. We bailed Big U out.
Blacc Sam just got home from doing a bid, probably still got ankle monitors and parole officers breathing down his neck. But when he sees his little brother getting disrespected, he don't hesitate to let that iron speak. Firing shots in the air with police right there watching, that's that ride or die mentality that separates the real ones from the fake ones. The fact that this man was willing to pull out a strap and fire shots with police in the vicinity, knowing he could catch a whole life sentence, shows you the level of ride or die loyalty that runs in his DNA. Some sources suggest the altercation may have been linked to a diss track Nipsey made about Big U, though this is not fully substantiated. But what's not in dispute is that when his little brother was in danger, Blacc Sam didn't hesitate to put his own freedom on the line. This 2011 incident represents the foundation of everything that's happening today because it established the battle lines between Blacc Sam and Big U that would eventually expand to include Snoop Dogg. But here's where this story starts getting interesting. A new allegation was made that would shake this whole thing up in a major way.
Big U tells us, the police tell him, they let Blacc Sam go before he got a bail. Which is, gun, firing, fresh out, ain't supposed to happen like that. He tell him that's one of ours, leave him alone. There's nothing that I knew about anybody from his backyard that he didn't know about. No information, whether it was involving Nipsey, that goes both ways. Shit come to me, I'm gonna let him know what come to me. This what it is, come to me. Things he knew, he let me know what came to me from his side. Blacc Sam, Nipsey's brother, he told me he's a rat.
Hold up. This statement from Whack 100 just dropped a bomb that's about to blow up everything we thought we knew about these relationships. When you call somebody a rat in the hood, that ain't just some casual disrespect. That's a death sentence wrapped up in 3 letters. We're talking about the ultimate violation in street culture, the kind of accusation that gets people touched up, disappeared, or worse. And the fact that this information is allegedly coming from Big U about Blacc Sam, that's the kind of intel that reshapes entire power structures in these streets. The thing is, Whack 100 makes a valid point. In what world does a fresh out felon who just popped off shots in front of the boys in blue get released without even seeing a judge? That type of preferential treatment in the system don't happen by accident. Somebody with juice had to make some phone calls, or somebody was already cooperating with the authorities in ways that regular street cats don't know about. In a culture where snitching is worse than murder, this type of irregular release creates questions that never go away.
So all these years, I've been looking at him like he's a rat anyway.
Now the friendship between Snoop and Big U becomes even more complicated when you consider the gang politics that govern everything in Los Angeles, especially taken in the context of Nipsey Hussle's death. You see, Snoop is affiliated with the Rollin' 20s Crip, a rival faction to the Rollin' 60s. Now listen up, Snoop ain't just some mainstream rapper who forgot where he came from. Uncle Snoop's been keeping it trill with his Crip ties since day one, even when he's on Jimmy Kimmel talking about cooking shows and wine brands. Now Blacc Sam has been watching the bromance between Snoop and Big U develop while his own suspicions about Big U's role in his brother's death continue to grow. Sam and U already have bad blood, and rumors flying around that Big U had a hand in it aren't helping matters at all. When you're grieving your brother's death and you see people who claim to love him still chopping it up with somebody you suspect might have had him killed, that's the type of betrayal that cuts deeper than any physical wound. The Rollin' 60s and Rollin' 20s Crips have a history of rivalry, which complicates relationships between figures like Snoop and Nipsey Sam. Eric Holder, a member of the Rollin' 60s Crips, was convicted of the murder of Nipsey in 2022. But for street cats like Blacc Sam who understand how these power structures really work, Eric Holder being the trigger man doesn't necessarily mean he was the mastermind. In the hood, the person who pulls the trigger ain't always the person who ordered the hit. And word on the street is that Big U was the shot caller, literally. Now, when your brother gets murdered and the people who claim to love him continue to break bread with somebody you suspect might have been involved in his death, that's not paranoia. That's pattern recognition based on years of survival in an environment where trust is literally a matter of life and death. Reading between the lines. The aftermath of Nipsey's murder has been like watching a chess game, where all the pieces are moving in ways that don't make sense on the surface, but start to form a pattern when you understand the rules that govern the streets. For Blacc Sam, this period has been about more than just grieving his brother. It's been about conducting a street-level investigation into relationships, loyalties, and motivations that were supposed to stay buried forever. What he's uncovered has shattered his understanding of who he can trust and revealed that some of the people closest to his family might have been playing a completely different game all along. The public statements and actions of both Snoop and Big U since Nipsey's death have been telling stories that don't always match up with what's happening behind the scenes. Big U's response to these mixed perceptions shows that OG political savvy that successful street cats develop over decades of navigating dangerous situations.
I went to my homeboy's funeral yesterday, and I'm looking at his obituary, and I'm looking like, dang, I didn't know he did all that. And I'm just looking like, wow. with a loss, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, bro, and that's all they're gonna do, read your scroll then. But I mean, it's like, I gotta be the best. Even when I'm like with Maul, I used to be with Maul.
This type of long-term thinking, essentially arguing that history will vindicate him regardless of what people think right now, is the kind of chess-playing mentality that separates the successful street politicians from the ones who flame out. But for somebody like Blacc Sam, who's looking for answers about his brother's death, this kind of philosophical response can come across as evasive. When you're grieving and you need clarity, hearing somebody talk about their legacy and how they'll be remembered can feel like they're avoiding the real questions. The physical presence and reputation that Big U carries also plays into how these relationships function.
No matter what, when I walk through the door, I'm the bad guy. For sure.
But why they put that on you though?
Because it's black. I'm black. I'm big. And it's kind of racist when you look at it because the big black guys are the ones you gotta watch. I'm the only one that's gonna help you.
While Big U is framing this as a racial issue, the reality is that his reputation precedes him for reasons that have nothing to do with his skin color and everything to do with his documented history in these streets. Big U, after his release from a 23-year prison sentence in 2004, became a liaison connecting street rappers with industry executives, leveraging relationships with figures like Suge and Knight. This ain't somebody who's been unfairly stereotyped. This is somebody whose actions and associations have created legitimate questions about his methods and motivations. For Blacc Sam, watching Snoop Dogg align himself with somebody who openly acknowledges being seen as the bad guy raises questions about what Snoop really knows about Big U's activities and what he's choosing to overlook. The street rumors and conspiracy theories that have been circulating since Nipsey's death have created an environment where every public statement, every social media post, every business deal gets analyzed for hidden meanings and secret agendas.
And even the police too, is nowadays be listening to the social media and all, because when Nip passed away, automatically Big U did it or had something to do it or did this, and just be like social media, the investigator now come to your house like, hey, what's the deal, bro? You know what I'm saying? You did it.
Big U's acknowledgement that he was immediately suspected in Nipsey's death and his frustration with how social media amplified these suspicions doesn't necessarily clear him of wrongdoing. It just confirms that these suspicions exist and that they've had real-world consequences for him. The way Big U frames his relationship with Nipsey also deserves scrutiny, especially considering the historical tensions between them.
He was just in every video. Like how we was beefing when all his songs, every album he put out, since we had the so-called altercation, he shouted me out. He got the goddamn keys to the city. Like what? Didn't he say, I want to be Big U? Oh no, what did he say? Big U, like J Prince and Big Draws?
For Blacc Sam, this narrative of ongoing friendship and mutual support doesn't necessarily align with what he witnessed and experienced in the months and years leading up to his brother's death. The fact that Big U continues to emphasize how Nipsey shouted him out in songs and videos could be interpreted as somebody trying to create a public record of friendship that might not have existed in private. In the streets, people understand the difference between showing love for the cameras and showing love when nobody's watching. The federal investigations into Big U's activities have added a whole new dimension to these relationships and raised questions about what Snoop Dogg knew and when he knew it. Federal investigations into Big U's alleged Big U enterprise have brought scrutiny to his interactions with celebrities, including Snoop. Prosecutors claim Big U ran a mafia-like operation involving extortion, robbery, and murder, with a check-in system requiring entertainers to pay for protection in Los Angeles. Now listen up, because this is where the story gets really serious. We ain't talking about some petty street beef or hurt feelings over a business deal gone wrong. We're talking about federal RICO charges that could put Big U away for life. These are the types of charges that prosecutors don't bring unless they got wiretaps, financial records, witness testimony, and physical evidence that tell a story of organized criminal activity spanning years or decades. The specific allegations about Big U's check-in system are particularly troubling when you consider them in the context of Nipsey's murder and his refusal to participate in traditional street politics. Prosecutors claim Big U ran a mafia-like operation involving extortion, robbery, and murder with a check-in system requiring entertainers to pay for protection in Los Angeles. If this system existed, and if Nipsey was refusing to participate or was somehow threatening its operation by building legitimate businesses that didn't require street protection, it would provide a clear motive for wanting him eliminated. The revelations about advanced knowledge of Nipsey's murder have provided some of the most explosive evidence in this entire saga. Loose Cannon, an associate of Big U, alleged in a now-deleted No Jumper podcast episode that Big U knew about Nipsey's impending murder 30 minutes before it occurred.
And I'm on a phone, he FaceTimed me. So he FaceTimed me and stuff like that. He was like, Nipsey just got killed. I'm like, 6 I didn't hear that. So I hang up with him. I called Nipsey and I'm like, Nipsey, what's up? He was like, oh, what's up with it?
Nipsey answered.
Nipsey answered. He answered the phone because my cousin is Nipsey baby mama. You get what I'm saying? So it was like I could have probably stopped it, or it had it.
Stop what? You mean that? Fuck are you talking about?
No, because listen. So after I talked to Nipsey, and I was like, "Yeah, I love you, cuz," or whatever like that. I'll see you later, or whatever. So I hung up the phone. I thought Big U gave wrong information. 30 minutes later, the homies blowing me up like they just killed Nipsey.
This ain't a situation where Snoop can claim ignorance about the allegations against Big U. These are federal charges that have been all over the news, and they directly relate to the kind of criminal activity that could have motivated his brother's murder. The fact that Snoop has chosen to stand by Big U rather than distance himself raises serious questions about what he really knows and what he's choosing to overlook. Blacc Sam's had enough. There are allegations that Snoop aligned with Big U during tensions with Nipsey Hussle, with some accusing Snoop of supporting Big U's alleged extortion practices. The idea that Snoop would pick sides in a conflict between Big U and Nipsey, and that he would choose to support someone who stands accused of running an extortion racket over someone who was working to uplift his community, represents a fundamental betrayal of everything that real hip-hop culture is supposed to stand for. Big U has publicly praised Snoop, naming him as Los Angeles' most important artist in an interview with Power 106, indicating a level of professional respect. This public endorsement from Big U carries serious weight in the community, but for Blacc Sam, it also represents Snoop accepting praise and validation from someone who may have had his brother killed. The perspective that Iron Mike Tyson and Snoop Dogg shared about Nipsey's legacy adds another dimension to the story that shows just how far-reaching the impact of these betrayals has become.
Talk about the brother Nipsey. I never had the opportunity to meet him.
Man, Nipsey Hussle, man, that's my dear brother right there.
Snoop's description of Nipsey as his dear brother becomes particularly bitter when you consider that he's continued to maintain close ties with someone who stands accused of orchestrating that brother's murder. In August 2025, tensions flared publicly when a video surfaced showing a heated interaction between Snoop Dogg and Blacc Sam, stirring social media buzz. The fact that these disputes have moved from private conversations to public confrontation shows that the breaking point has finally been reached and that there's no going back to the way things used to be. So what's Blacc Sam gonna do next? Now put yourself in Sam's shoes for a minute. That's a level of hurt and anger that most of us can't even fathom. Your little brother, your blood, the one you built an empire with, gets gunned down in his own hood, right in front of his own store. The man who was preaching ownership, unity, and breaking the cycle. The irony is cruel, and the desire for vengeance, that's a natural human reaction, especially coming from where they from. See, in the streets, the code is ancient. It ain't about the court system, it's about balance. An eye for an eye. It's about sending a message that you can't touch a king, let alone a king like Nip, and just walk away. You can bet your last dollar that the thought has crossed Sam's mind, probably every single day since it happened. The urge to handle it himself, to look the man allegedly responsible in the eye and settle the score. That's the script the streets know by heart. It's the script that's been followed forever in LA. We ain't gotta look far for examples. Look at what went down with Puffy and Shuge back in the day. That was all about retribution and handling business outside the law. The game's whole career has been dotted with street politics and retaliations, from the fight at the radio station to the constant back and forth that's left bodies in the wake. Even recently, you had that situation with the rapper Catchy the Great. Dude was killed in a drive-by, and the streets said it was tied to an ongoing feud, a classic case of get back. It's a cycle that never seems to break. So for somebody to pull up on Sam and whisper, "You was in on it," that's pouring gasoline on a fire that's already burning out of control. Sam is a businessman, a mogul. He and Nip built something real from the ground up, but let's keep it a buck. Before he was a businessman, he was a solid street figure from rolling 60s. He knows the game. He knows the price of getting back, and he also knows the price of not getting back. It's a lose-lose. If he moves on you, it ignites a war that could tear the whole city apart, putting more of his loved ones in the crossfire and risking every single thing they built. The stores, the legacy, everything. The media frenzy would be insane, and Nip's name would forever be tied to the violence that followed, not just the violence that took him. But if he don't move, in the eyes of the old school, that's a sign of weakness. It might invite more disrespect. It leaves that itch of injustice unscratched forever. That's the hell he's living in. The pressure from the set, from the homies who are still in that life, whispering that it's gotta be handled, must be immense. It's a constant tug of war between his heart, which is screaming for justice, and his mind, which knows Nip was trying to build a way out of that very cycle. That's the real problem. Nipsey's whole mission was to show a different way. He was about transforming the trauma, about building generational wealth, about teaching the youth that the gun ain't the only answer. If Sam picks up that hammer of vengeance, it could feel like a betrayal of everything his brother stood for and died for. It would say that the cycle is stronger than the message, but the pain of a big brother, that's a powerful, powerful thing. So what does he do? It's the hardest choice a man can make. The streets are watching, waiting to see which path he takes. Does he follow the ancient code of the streets that he was raised closed in, or does he champion the new, harder code his brother died for? The code of patience, of letting the system handle it, and elevating the Marathon clothing store into a monument rather than a battleground. It's about more than just getting back. It's about what Nipsey's legacy is going to be. Is it going to be defined by the violence that ended it or the progress that he dreamed of? Sam holding his head high and building the empire even higher is the ultimate revenge. It's the hardest get back because it requires swallowing all that rage and turning it into power. But in the heart of Crenshaw, that's a war within himself that's just as real as any war on the streets. Thank you for watching this video. If you'd like to watch another fascinating video like this, click on one of the boxes on your screen right now.